Bradley Walsh has always had a way of walking into a room and making it feel lighter. Whether he's cracking a joke, breaking into laughter, or flashing that familiar grin, he's the kind of presence that instantly puts people at ease. For years, viewers have welcomed him into their living rooms, not just as a presenter, but as someone who feels almost like family. That's why when ITV viewers recently noticed a subtle change, the reaction was immediate and deeply heartfelt. It wasn't anything dramatic, no big announcement, no shocking reveal, just a moment that felt different. A pause that lingered a little longer than usual, a smile that seemed more thoughtful than playful, and suddenly people who had laughed with Bradley for years found themselves leaning closer to their screens, asking the same quiet question, "Is he okay?" What followed wasn't panic, it was something far more powerful: support. Messages began pouring in from all corners. Fans shared memories of the first time Bradley made them laugh. Others spoke about how his warmth had helped them through tough days, long nights, and moments when a smile felt hard to find. It became clear very quickly that Bradley Walsh isn't just watched, he's genuinely loved. Those close to Bradley have always described him as someone who gives far more than he takes, a man who uses humor not just to entertain, but to connect. And perhaps that's why even the smallest shift didn't go unnoticed. People care because he has always cared first. Behind the scenes, Bradley has never been one to seek attention for personal matters. In fact, he's known for brushing things off with a joke, often making others laugh before they have the chance to worry. Friends say that's just who he is, a natural comforter, even when the spotlight turns inward. Still, viewers picked up on something gentle and human, not weakness, not sadness, just the quiet reminder that even those who bring joy carry their own moments of reflection. And in true Bradley fashion, moments of concern were quickly balanced by laughter. Fans joked lovingly about how he still managed to deliver a perfectly timed comment, even when looking a little more thoughtful than usual. Others teased that if warmth alone could power a studio, Bradley would keep the lights on forever. That mix of affection and humor says everything. There's something deeply romantic about the relationship between Bradley and his audience, not in the traditional sense, but in the way shared history creates trust. Over the years, he's celebrated wins, laughed through mistakes, and shown up with the same genuine energy every time. That kind of consistency builds a bond that goes beyond television. And when that bond feels even slightly shaken, people respond with kindness. What stood out most wasn't worry, it was gratitude. Gratitude for decades of laughter, gratitude for moments of joy that arrived exactly when they were needed, gratitude for a man who never tried to be anything other than himself. Bradley himself seemed quietly touched by the response. Those who've worked with him say he was genuinely moved, perhaps even a little embarrassed by how much love came his way. After all, he's more comfortable making jokes about others than being the center of emotional attention. But sometimes, even the jokester has to pause and receive. There were lighter moments, too. Bradley reportedly joked that if people were going to fuss over him, he might start charging for reassurance. That familiar sparkle was still there, proof that humor remains his favorite language. Yet beneath the laughter was something meaningful, a reminder that connection matters, that showing up for people, on screen or off, creates ripples you may never fully see until they come rushing back toward you. For fans, the moment became a chance to give back a fraction of what Bradley has given them over the years, not with worry, but with warmth, not with fear, but with encouragement. And maybe that's why the story resonated so deeply, because it wasn't about uncertainty, it was about care. Life doesn't always announce its quieter moments. Sometimes change shows up as a softer smile or a thoughtful pause, and when it does, love has a way of answering without being asked. Bradley Walsh continues to do what he's always done best, bringing people together. This time, though, the laughter was joined by something else, a collective reminder that kindness travels both ways. If this story made you smile, reflect, or appreciate the people who brighten your everyday life, take a moment to share that feeling. Reach out, leave a kind word, let someone know they matter.
Because sometimes the strongest show of support doesn't need big headlines, just a simple message that says, "We're here." And as Bradley would likely say with a grin, a good laugh never hurts either.